Good morning, I'm Wendy Burke, and this is the CBC Morning Report for Tuesday, December 7th. In our top story, Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Motley, has been awarded the United Nations' highest environmental honor for her work highlighting the threat from rising sea levels to small islands around the world. Ms. Motley has been described as a driving force for climate action across Latin America and the Caribbean, who has set ambitious environmental targets for her country, including a fossil fuel-free electricity sector by 2030. In recognition of her leadership, the Barbados Prime Minister has been named as one of the 4 winners of the award announced yesterday by the UN's Environment Programme. The announcement comes after Ms. Motley delivered a stark warning to the UN's Climate Change Conference in November, telling delegates that a 2% degrees Celsius rise in global temperatures above pre-industrial levels would be a death sentence for nations such as Barbados. Rising temperatures and sea levels are affecting Barbados by shrinking its already limited water supply.
1.5 is what we need to survive. 2 degrees, yes, SG, is a death sentence for the people of Antigua and Barbuda, for the people of the Maldives, for the people of Dominica and Fiji, for the people of Kenya and Mozambique, and yes, for the people of Samoa and Barbados. We do not want that dreaded death sentence. And we've come here today to say, try harder, because our people, the climate army, the world, the planet, needs our actions now. Not next year, not in the next decade.
Sharing the award with Ms. Motley is the Sea Women of Melanesia, a group in Papua New Guinea and the Solomon Islands that trains local women to monitor the state of coral bleaching on some of the world's most endangered reefs, has also been declared the winner of the UN Environment Award. The other winners include Dr. Gladys Kalima Zekusoka, the first wildlife vet of the Uganda Wildlife Authority and an authority on primates and diseases that spread from animals to humans. The other winner is Maria Koloniskova of Kyrgyzstan, an environmental activist who heads a group that monitors air quality in Central Asia. The award, instituted by the UN Environment Programme in 2005, has been conferred on 101 groups of people, including 25 world leaders. Next on the CBC Morning Report, updates on the COVID-19 pandemic. Barbados has recorded 2 more COVID-19 related deaths, bringing the number of lives lost locally from the virus to 240. A 56-year-old man and an 89-year-old woman both lost their battle with COVID-19 on Sunday. Officials say the man passed away at the Harrison's Point Isolation Facility, while the woman died at the Blackman and Gollop Isolation Facility. They were both unvaccinated. There were 105 new positive COVID-19 cases in Barbados up to Sunday's testing by the Vestal Santos Public Health Laboratory. These new COVID-19 cases included 53 males and 52 females. The positive cases consist of 24 people under the age of 18. Meanwhile, the number of people in isolation facilities was 283, while 2,081 were in home isolation. Under the National Vaccination Program for COVID-19, the total number of people with at least one dose is 154,033. The total number of people who are fully vaccinated is 138,267. Jamaica's COVID vaccination task force has made new recommendations in light of an impending fourth wave of the virus.
In its second report since being set up, the Professor Gordon Shirley-chaired task force noted that new vaccinations are averaging only 2,000 a day. 677,000 people had received at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine up to Friday. The task force believes a program requiring workers in select areas to get vaccinated or get tested on a regular basis is needed amid the impending threat of a fourth wave of COVID-19. It says legal advice suggests the courts are likely to rule that such policies to protect public health are demonstrably justified in a free and democratic society. It adds that the advice also indicates that once policies are properly designed and correct procedural steps are taken to implement them, it is very unlikely that a judicial challenge would succeed or that it would prevent their implementation. The task force says the government should ensure the details of the policies are reasonable and give due consideration to varying circumstances, such as exemptions for those unable to be vaccinated for medical reasons. In the meantime, the task force argues that given the minimal risk that the fully vaccinated pose to the health system, it is not equitable to apply the same restrictions for them as for the unvaccinated. It says the government should facilitate events accessible only to the fully vaccinated. It further states that to make the verification process easier, the COVID-19 vaccine authentication system should be implemented as early as possible. The task force says the necessary infrastructure for citizens to access certificates and for host organizations to verify these certificates should be established urgently. The current projection is for this to be launched by the third week of December.
The new COVID-19 variant Omicron is now in 47 countries. As a result, Italy and Poland are among the latest countries to impose tighter restrictions on the unvaccinated population.
South Africa is preparing for more hospital admissions. The President, Cyril Ramaphosa, is urging everyone to get vaccinated. On Saturday, South Africa was reporting more than 16,000 new cases, but on Monday, it confirmed just over 6,000. In Europe, concerns about rising numbers of cases in the continent has prompted Italy and Poland to impose tighter restrictions on unvaccinated people. Here's Andrew Simmons from London on the situation in the UK.
There will be similar measures from Scotland and Wales and Northern Ireland. It's been said that these measures are basically reintroducing firmer measures which were out earlier, but Britain in particular criticised for being slow with its travel restrictions. It's going slowly because it feels that the booster jab will actually bring it into a safer position than other states because of the faster rollout. But there'll be a PCR test mandatory within 48 hours of departing on a plane, and on arrival there has to be a negative result from PCR test within 48 hours. There has to be self-isolation. And now Nigeria has been added to the list of the red list of countries in which people have to go into quarantine for a whole 10 days in a specified hotel the government will lay on. That's caused outrage in Nigeria. Now, the government has a straightforward policy. It believes it's doing these things as a preventative measure, but its real weapon against COVID, it believes, is the booster third jab.
the question of the additional PCR test that people coming to this country will take as a precautionary measure. I think it's the right thing to do. But of course, the real resilience that we're building up to any variant, including Omicron, is getting the boosters of the vaccine rolled out. We've got 80% of those over 12 now having 2 jabs, and we've got a third of the country with either a third jab or a booster. That's the reason we can go to into this Christmas as a country with stronger confidence. We can enjoy Christmas in a way that unfortunately we couldn't last year.
Yes, the government there holding a lot of faith in the booster jab. Will that be seen? Will it work? People are unsure of it. However, it's a clear policy of this government.
And we have an update on some other countries who are being affected by the new COVID complications.
India is reporting 21 cases of Omicron. Some doctors are calling for stricter vaccination measures. The capital, New Delhi's health minister, is urging everyone to get fully vaccinated, wear masks and to maintain social distancing. Only half of India's 1.3 billion people is reported to be fully vaccinated. Neighbouring Nepal has now confirmed its first 2 cases of Omicron. The health ministry says a foreigner and a person who came into contact with him tested positive for the new variant. Both are now in isolation. Thailand too has identified its first case of Omicron. The infection was detected in a US citizen who travelled from Spain last month. Thailand's heavily dependent on tourism and had just reopened its economy for travel. 2 people who travelled from South Africa to Russia have tested positive for Omicron. The country has imposed travel restrictions and quarantines for all people returning from South Africa and neighbouring countries. Russia's still fighting a major surge in infections caused by the Delta variant and low vaccination rates.
Well, it's time to preview what's coming up on Morning Barbados. And we now welcome Pearson Stalin booing.
Stalin? Am I that radical? Stalin? But then again, I'd take Black Stalin from Trinidad and Tobago that barred out of that place. So good morning to you, Wendy. No, listen to this. I gave you a choice of names. You could be Sylvina, Sangria, Sarah Sue, or San. Which one do you want?
It doesn't make a difference choosing Pearson.
Oh, it's going to be.
You're still going to do the one you want.
That's right. It is going to be.
Right ahead.
It is going to be today Wendy San Burke.
That's okay. My sister, we used to call her that.
Really?
So I'm fine. Yep.
I take it back. But good morning, Wendy. Good morning, everyone. Coming up at 6:30 this morning, the Christmas seasonal favorite of yours, Carols by Candlelight, is on this Saturday and Sunday. We'll be catching up with the organizers, the Rotary Clubs of Barbados, to talk about a little bit about what you can expect on the weekend and how you can lend your support to this seasonal favorite of yours. Also, we're just about a month and 11 days away from the first anniversary of the Barbados Medicinal Cannabis Licensing Authority. On January 18th, they're going to be marking their first year, and so there are a number of activities they have planned to assist you, those of you getting into that industry. Are you aware that there are some spaces and places in your home that are unsafe for your children? Yes, they are. And what are they? We will share when our pediatrician comes by to share with us what we can do to ensure our children are safe in our rooms and spaces. All that and a whole lot more straight ahead at 6:30 when you join me for Morning Barbados. Back to you, San.
Well, thank you, Stalin, and we'll see you a little later in the hour. It's time now for another break, and we'll return with more news. There's no need to be concerned that the 24-hour testing protocol to enter the United States will overwhelm the local testing system. One physician who performs private testing told the Morning Report between the government facilities and the increasing number of private medical testers, there should be no inundating the system. Dr. Bandele Majeks of Urgent Care, which was among the first private practices to be granted permission to do mobile testing, says he has no concerns about being unable to meet the demands of the new protocol or it affecting travel.
It means that you have sort of a shorter turnaround time for getting those results, and people may panic and think, well, you know, what if I don't get my results back in time? The good news is that those tests can be antigen tests, or what we call rapid tests, and usually you get those results back within an hour.
Dr. Majek says the time frame is not an issue either, since most tests are returned within 24 hours and the United States does not require a PCR.
It's certainly not a requirement for traveling to the US or the UK for that matter. Both countries accept a rapid test or rapid antigen test. But if you insist that you want to have a PCR test, then the usual turnaround time for that is 24 hours. So there should be enough time for you to get that test processed.
The urgent care physician told Morning Report that the volume of persons to be tested is not a worry either, as the island does have the capacity to deal with increased numbers.
We're certainly able to handle we have the capacity to handle any increased volume of testing that we need to do. Over the last few months, we've certainly been doing quite a number of tests. And what has changed in recent months is that you have certainly more private providers coming into the market offering tests. And as you know, Urgent Care Mobile, we provide quite a bit of testing as well through our drive-through facilities. We have 2 of those now, one of those being in Welch's and the other one at Sky Mall. And that makes testing very convenient and very quick as well. And in addition to that, you have the Ministry of Health who's expanded their testing sites as well.
So what kind of volume do you as a private provider see? Like on a weekly average, how many bodies could come through?
Well, I mean, you can look at the statistic generally to see what we've been testing. We do, across Barbados, we certainly do. We can do several thousand. This is not Urgent Care Mobile specifically, but across Barbados, with a varying type number of providers. If you look at PCR tests alone that go to Beso Santos Lab, we can do quite a few. So I think, like I said once again, we're more than capable as an island for managing any anticipated increase in volume.
For the first time in more than 300 years, vending without a license will not be treated as a criminal offense. This follows the historic passing of the National Vending Bill 2021 in the Senate yesterday. The act removes the scourge of criminality from vending, since anyone selling without a valid vending permit will now no longer face criminal charges. They will instead be made to pay an administrative penalty. As he led off debate, Foreign Affairs Minister, Senator the Most Honorable Dr. Jerome Walcott, noted vending has been an important profession, providing an income for many Barbadians.
I am not going to stand here and say that there are all positives and everything is fine with vending. There are issues. There are the matters of blocking the sidewalks from time to time, and it is hoped that with this legislation this matter will be addressed. Sometimes there's a lack of cleanliness, and this will have to be addressed. This occurs. Some vendors can be abusive, and sometimes they're quarreling and noisy among each other.
Meanwhile, in his capacity as head of the Select Committee on Vending, Minister of Energy, Small Business and Entrepreneurship, Carrie Simmons, spoke about the bill giving 16 to 18-year-olds the ability to legally vend.
I am indebted to the kind of reform-minded people who sat on this committee. And we belabored this matter for some time. And Clause 4 has therefore been redrafted to facilitate those persons between age 16 and age 18 with the ability to legally vend. And this will be done under a special dispensation, again, to be created under the regulations pursuant to this Act. And that dispensation, sir, will be akin to an apprenticeship. So that even though you cannot commercially contract Sir, you can work with an established vendor.
Following the passage of the National Vending Bill in the Upper House, Aaliyah Briggs spoke to vendors about how they feel re the new legislation.
Vendors in the city of Bridgetown are reacting to the recently passed National Vending Bill. Many say it's a welcome change after years of persecution.
A lot of people with my four parents, right, used to get harassed, right? I get train jail, but just 2 minutes, right? Even I had a vendor.
We used to gotta be moving up and down. You can't sell on the road because the people will come and tell you to move. It's not easy. It was never easy.
A lot of people used to get a lot of hustle all over the place, you know. Now, as Mr. White said, a lot of people have $100 to pay for the license, so I feel good about it.
I like to go the right way, you know. I don't have a problem with that. I like to go the right way. You're supposed to have your license to sell, you know, because you have a lot of vending. Ever since, without no license. Some with license, some without, so I don't got a problem with that.
The bill is also being welcomed by President of Barven, Alistair Alexander. He says for too many years, vendors in Barbados have been treated like second-class citizens, criminalized for plying their trade.
What they did was not criminal. By the colonial people, they were criminalized, and by a colonial mindset. And you know when is the right time to be free? Now is always the right time to be free. And again, I thank Almighty God for the passing of this legislation, for the expunging of the vendors' record, wiping it clean as it should be.
The act also seeks to regulate vending activities, including addressing working conditions. Regarding suggestions that the legalization of street vending poses a threat to commercial activity, Mr. Alexander responds in this way.
From the beginning, we have been shouting hardest that this should not happen and will not happen. We will be under a responsible regime of laws and of order. We understand clearly that Bridgetown is Bridgetown, let me put it this way, is stores, right? And therefore, we would expect that we would be complementing the stores.
Aaliyah Briggs, CBC News.
Even as the Barbados Economic Recovery and Transformation Program's Monitoring Committee says government is meeting the targets on the divert plan, it has voiced some concerns about business facilitation and the full reopening of the economy. Co-chair of the committee, Tricia Tanis, highlighted these and other factors during the virtual media conference for the committee's 12th public report.
The limited GDP growth opportunities, particularly as debt has now risen back now to close to 150% of GDP. And we're seeing both sides of that equation actually rise. Both debt has risen, but GDP is also very stagnant, and therefore the debt to GDP ratio is rising a bit more swiftly. We can actually tamper that a bit with a bit more growth, and that will come hopefully as we look into a very buoyant peak season, winter season for 2022 to kickstart the economy on sound footing for 2022. Of course, assuming that we don't have any further disruption as occasioned by Omicron or any other additional variants that would force us to be a lot less competitive.
Today is International Civil Aviation Day, and the Morning Report has been speaking with a representative of the Civil Aviation Department about the rationale of the day. John Paris is the Unit Chief Air Traffic Services who assists with the management of the officers in the tower.
International Civil Aviation Day is about bringing awareness to the public about the importance of civil aviation as it relates to the social and economic development of developing states. The theme is advancing innovation for global aviation development. And this theme will be till 2023, I believe, because normally what would happen is there would normally be a major theme every 4 years. So this theme will lead us up into 2023.
Mr. Paris also updated us on some local developments in the sector.
The air traffic controllers are those persons who directly speak with the pilots and make sure that passengers get from point A to point B safely. So if there were no air traffic controllers, then there will be chaos in the skies. So we provide a pivotal role in making sure that persons are safe, are traveling safely in our skies. At this point in time, civil aviation is constantly improving in terms of technology and so on. And within the Civil Aviation Department, we are moving now towards a new system of controlling air traffic management, where we're incorporating technologies such as ASB, which is automatic dependent surveillance broadcast, and to help to streamline how we do business in terms of travel. We want to be more economical. And so by using the technologies, what we're trying to do is to reduce the carbon footprint, but also making sure that the airlines save more money in terms of fuel by providing a seamless transition from the point of departure to point of arrival in the quickest possible means.
U.S. President Joe Biden is expected to warn his Russian counterpart, Vladimir Putin, of direct costs should Russia invade Ukraine. The two world leaders have scheduled a virtual call for this morning. Biden intends to send a clear message to Russia that there will be genuine and meaningful direct costs should they choose to go forward with a military escalation with Ukraine.
We've got a sense of it from a senior administration official that held a call with reporters to kind of outline the goals and intent of the White House going into this call. And the main objective of this is that the United States wants to send a clear message that it is not seeking conflict. At the same time, should Russia invade Ukraine, the United States is prepared to impose what it calls meaningful consequences for harmful actions. In other words, what we expect that those actions on the part of the United States could be punitive actions would be financial sanctions that would be so punishing, would seek to isolate Russia from the global financial system. Now, having said that, the United States is hoping to push the Russian side toward diplomatic talks along the Minsk agreement. We should also point out that the United States is prepared to support discussions between NATO and Russia that would allow for the addressing of concerns on both sides. But the bottom line is that the United States is gravely concerned about U.S. intelligence reports that indicate that there is a buildup of military by Russia along the Ukraine border. And even as Russia has dismissed this as fear-mongering, the United States is intent on trying to push forward to try and resolve this concern through diplomatic channels.
In sports, West Indies will play 3 one-day internationals against Ireland, to be followed by a one-off 2020 international at Sabina Park in Jamaica on the visitors' tour of the Caribbean from January 8th to 16th. This will be Ireland's second full white ball tour to the West Indies. Ireland previously toured in It's time now to see what the weather picture is like on the outside. In Barbados right now, the temperature stands at 26.2 degrees Celsius and it's fair. It, however, feels like 29 degrees Celsius. Humidity stands at 89% and the barometric pressure 1012.4 millibars. The winds are from the east at 26 kilometers per hour. Low tide will be at 11:39 a.m., the first high tide at 6:31 a.m., and the second high tide at 5:52 p.m. The seas are moderate in open water with swells ranging from 2 to 2.5 meters and steady. Small craft operators and sea bathers should exercise caution. Today will be a mix of sunshine and clouds with the occasional brief scattered light showers. Tonight is expected to be cloudy with clear periods and the occasional intermittent scattered light to moderate showers. And here's now a look at our international cities. And that's it for the news. We now turn you over to Pearson Stalin Buin, that is, and Morning Barbados.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, 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 morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning, morning, Barbados, good morning. Wake up, wake up, wake up. Morning to you.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Today. Today is Tuesday, December the 7th, 2021. I'm Pearson Bowen. Thank you so much for joining us right here in Barbados, watching us on your TV screen, or if you're across the globe, on your YouTube channel or our Facebook stream as well. She threw the first barb. She called me Stalin. This is Wendy Burke who called me Stalin. I call her San, and so shall it be. But good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us. Speaking of which, Jolie Armstrong, good morning. She called us bright and early this morning. She so loves when Wendy and I have that kind of interaction in the morning. And so Jolie, who's just celebrated a birthday, good morning, Jolie. Thank you for your call. Thank you for your care and consideration. Thank you for watching us here on TV every single morning. She is dedicated to the shows. And so we thank you so much. Jolie Armstrong, just turning 11, I think it is, recently. So congratulations on your birthday. Before we get into the meat of everything, let me remind you of the theory of relativity. The theory of relativity is a production put on by Operation Triple Threat. And they'll be showing online this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. There are 2 shows on Sunday, and certainly you want to be a part of it. So to watch it online, you need to first have your ticket. And you go to ticketlinks.com to purchase your ticket. Very affordable, great production. See our young people in action in theater. It's going to be really, really good. Theory of Relativity this weekend online with Operation Triple Threat. This morning as well, our agent Sharita will join us. We want to look at whether or not this is a good time to either sell, put for sale, or for rental your property. What are some of the things that you can probably do so that you stand out at this time? And Thornwood, our fitness instructor, will join us as we head over to the Flip Gym. And one of the owners and trainers there will join us, also show us what we can experience as we get our bodies in shape for the start of a brand new year through Flip Gym. But let's get started this morning by turning our attention to this weekend's activity when the Rotary Clubs of Barbados will host Carols by Candlelight, one of our seasonal favorites. Joining us to talk a little bit more about it is the president of the Rotary Clubs of Barbados, Robin Ford, and Tracy Knight-Lloyd, who is the president of Rotary Club of Barbados. Good morning, both of you.
Good morning, Brisbane, and good morning, Barbados.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Tracy, we're going to get you coming through very nicely and very clearly. Robin, let's start with you because we know the work of Rotary. We know the human service you give to this country. And this activity on the weekend is part of your fundraising efforts. Now, we have a pandemic, and so I know last year you found your innovative way of making sure that we still had that satisfaction. How has this pandemic impacted the work of Rotary Clubs in Barbados?
Well, it has really impacted us in that we couldn't get out in the community and actually meet persons and show the persons in Barbados what work that Rotary can do. However, we found an innovative way to still get out and do some of our projects in that we had a major project with the secondary schools, 6 secondary schools in the north of Barbados. And we were able to ensure that we got a good source of supply of water in providing water tanks and as well as pumps to ensure that when there's a shortage of water, these schools wouldn't have to send home the children. So we were still able to get out and do those projects because we couldn't let the pandemic stop us from our work in the community.
To get the work done requires funds, and this is where the source of funding comes, through Carols by Candlelight. Tracy, this is where I want to hear from you now. Tell us what we can expect this year from Carols by Candlelight.
Well, good morning, Pearson. Good morning. And I need to join the war, and I'm going on Wendy's side. So Wendy will be my longtime friend, Burke. Points for Wendy this morning, okay?
That's all right. That's all right.
No. So that's my ad.
That's fine.
Of course, Carols by Candlelight. We're in our 26th year, and it's our major fundraiser. It channels support for all of our ongoing projects, any unanticipated projects coming up as well, because we're a service club and we respond. So this year we have an amazing show. Like the rest of Barbados, we've shown our resilience and our ability to pivot even in times of COVID. So normally we have a grand show on the grounds of Ilara Court. We have a warm welcome by our Prime Minister. Everybody's together. It's a great feeling. And what we've done is that we've transferred that great feeling to the Globe Drive-In. So where persons can come, our customers, our regular patrons can come, drive in the safety of their car. Park is $65 per car only. And you can come to the Globe Drive-In on Saturday, December 11th and Sunday, December 12th, and enjoy the show in the comfort and the bubble of your vehicle with your family, with those you love. You know, you can use your cell phones to do the same effect that we would have with the candles. You can still sing along. You know, the deli is going to be open at the Globe Drive-In. So it's as much as we can recreate the feeling of Ilara Court in a safe environment while responding to the needs of COVID, keeping that Christmas feeling going, and of course raising much needed funds to help the vulnerable in Barbadian society.
I think it's
jam-packed.
Yeah, I still think it's so interesting how you're able to maintain such interest, such keen interest after all of these years in Carols by Candlelight. And I think it has a lot to do with the cast which you present every year. So talk to me a little bit about the cast this year.
It certainly does. Over the years, our past president, Norman Barrow, and Tamara Marshall have been instrumental, and kudos to both of them, in bringing us the island's best in performers. Actually, Pearson, there's an article out there that says that Carols by Candlelight is one of the top 12 Bajan Christmas traditions, right up there with Ham and Queen's Park and so forth. So we're fully entrenched in the Barbadian social calendar. So the cast and the entertainers who give of their best, who donate their time. This year we even have some entertainers who brought out new music, so it's going to be awesome. This year we have Michael Mercer, we have Mahalia Cummins, we have Alan Shepard, we have John Yard, we have Natalie Burke, Nisha Woods, and Ian Webster. Our MC will be none other than Miss Belle Holder. She'll anchor the show. And we'll also have dance as well. So it's not just singing. We have dance in Africa. Big shout out to Jennifer Seeley and that crew. They're amazing. We also have Powerhouse Studios, JJ Poulter, Ziggy Walcott. And we have a new sensation I want Barbadians to come out and listen to. We have a sneak peek of her on our Rotary Club of Barbados' Instagram and Facebook page. Go and have a look. Her name is Anna Greenwich. Watch her. She's a rising star, and that's another thing that we try to do. We always try to highlight new talent as well. So if you look at our cast, we have something for everyone. We have something for the millennials, something for the young. We have the traditionalists. So it's a show that is a real family show. It's something that everyone is going to enjoy.
And there's a very special guest artist in the name of Robin Ford. Sorry, Robin, I had to do that to you.
Yes.
But would it be interesting if it were you, Robin, to come as a guest performer? Or can you perform?
It's not.
No. Actually,
But he's
no, I
performing.
can't
He's
perform.
on the show, though. You'll see him, but he's not a special guest artist.
So give me a sense then, Robin, of where we can go get our tickets, because I know the excitement is strong, the interest is there, and there are a number of shows. It's Saturday and Sunday at the Globe Drive-In, folks. Where can we get tickets?
Certainly, you can get your tickets from any Rotarians out there, any left, but you can get your tickets from Carlton and A1, Emerald City, A&B Music Supplies, as well as party occasions in Sheraton Mall. So the tickets are going very, very quickly. I think the Sunday tickets are almost sold out, and there are just a few left for Saturday. So please go and get them as soon as possible.
As soon as possible. The show starts at what time, Tracy? And you know, because of how we drive, we want people to start arriving a whole lot earlier so that everyone can be in on time to enjoy from the beginning.
Thank you. The show starts at 6. Gates are open from 4 o'clock. So come get your best parking space. If you want to, if you're a family, you want to park next to each other, we encourage you to get there for 4 o'clock. And we have a cadre of Rotaractors and young Rotarians who will be facilitating the parking and the logistics to get you in the drive-in as quickly and as smoothly as possible. So the show starts at 6 o'clock, but gates are open from 4 o'clock. We are not selling any tickets at the door. So as President Robin says, make sure you get your tickets before you come to the drive-in, because we will not be able to sell any tickets at the door. We just want to make sure there's a seamless process going in. COVID protocols apply, same as what obtains currently at the drive-in. So we just want everyone to get there as early as you possibly can, get yourself sorted, get yourself ready to sit down and view an amazing show and have a grand time and start Christmas in the right way.
Indeed. We got to leave it there. But folks, thank you so much. You have me smiling because I'm joining in the excitement this morning with you for Carols by Candlelight.
Every year. I see your sisters every year. I don't see you, Pearson. I'm putting you on the spot now.
Well, I used to like to lounge.
You
You would have seen me at Elara. No, you would not, because you said you didn't. But I would have been at Elara Court. So this time, I'm not going in the car, but I'm not. But I really want to support the initiative. So we want to encourage everyone today to go out to the box offices and get your pass, get your tickets. Indeed, $65 per car, and you get there very early from 4. Start loading up and be there and be ready, because at 6 o'clock. Lights action is on, and certainly it's going to be fantastic this Saturday and Sunday, both days starting at the same time.
Correct, 6 o'clock both nights.
All right, fantastic. This is great. So thank you so much for joining me, Robin and Tracy, Robin Ford and Tracy Knight Lloyd from the Rotary Clubs of Barbados. I wish you the very best with this, because the work you do is one that needs our support. So I encourage everyone to be a part of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. You're very welcome. There we go. Carols by Candlelight. It is on, and it's on this weekend. We're going to take a break here, and we're coming back with more on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
All right, 15 minutes now to go to 7 o'clock. This little Ajoli Armstrong says that she sees my face light up every time we speak of St. Lucie. Ajoli, are you sure? Are you so sure? I hope it's not your eyes getting a little bit cloudy, but Ajoli, thank you for recognizing and for being a part of what we do here every morning. Now, let's turn our attention to the work of the Barbados Medicinal Cannabis Licensing Authority as they march towards celebrating their first anniversary in January. Joining us to talk a little bit about what we've done so far through this authority and what we can expect when they celebrate their first year is Tracy Moore, who is the Communications and Public Education Specialist, and Valencia Gittins-Carter, a Customer Liaison Officer with the Barbados Medicinal Cannabis Licensing Authority. Good morning, you ladies.
Good morning. Good morning to you, and good morning to Barbados.
Thank you so much for joining us. Now we
morning,
are
Barbados.
1 month and 11 days away from the anniversary, 18th of January. And who would imagine? What a beautiful number, what a beautiful day on which to have your anniversary. Thank you. Let's talk a little bit about the licensing authority thus far. How has it been going?
It has been going well. We have over 80 applications in the system. And it's precisely why we are doing this open house for our anniversary. Vi is going to talk a little bit about, some of the questions that she sees. But it's going really well, and we're hoping to get more investment as we go along.
About 80 applications in process. That means that there's strong interest in what the authority is being able to achieve.
Yeah, and most of those applications are by locals. So we're very excited about that because we want a locally derived industry. And so the 80 plus applications, like I said, a lot of them are in draft. And that is the reason why we thought we would do this community give back on our anniversary, because we want to help those in draft to be able to move forward. And a lot of times, because, there's things that have to be submitted with your application that people might not necessarily get. A lot of times people are paused, or if they go through the process, they're on hold. So we want to make sure that we're able to put ourselves and dedicate that day to assisting persons to get through the process.
A lot faster indeed. And so Valencia, you now sit at the forefront. People call you, they engage with you, trying to figure, why am I on pause? What did I do? What didn't I do? And so what are some of the questions and the concerns about being a draft that they raise?
So good morning once again. Persons are normally asking about the time with which they have sent a document in, and then they're looking for their response. So we have an intuitive system, and some of the time things get, I want to say we have an intuitive system, and they are normally highlighted. We deal with investors, and they are kind of busy people. We would have to let them know that we've already responded to them. So sometimes they're not checking their emails and stuff like that. They would call on that matter. Persons are calling with regards to the system. They're calling about whether or not the security requirements are satisfactory. What is expected with regards to your security? They would call about the movement. Have they submitted? What have they submitted? Does it meet the standard? That kind of thing. So there is a rigorous back and forth with regards to making sure that the applications are in and they are up to speed in regards to what is expected from the regulations. The payments, that's generally one of the questions. What is the cost of, with regards to businesses, once we register our business, then do we have to wait on the return of the registration documents to submit our application, which is one of the things that we try to push to let them know. Once they register, they can send us the documentation which shows proof of their registration. But of course, that process takes time. So they don't have to stick up. They don't have to stay there and wait until they get the return document. They can show us what they have submitted up front, and we will work with the entity, KIPO, to make sure that what they have submitted is in line with what we have, and that kind of stuff. So I'm not sure if there's any further questions that you would want me to
Well, not
indicate
me.
to you now, or
They
if that's
will,
enough.
they will raise those questions with you. So, what category can it's okay? So let me be clear. One can have a license as an investor, or one can have a license as a grower. Are there different categories of licenses that are being given by the authority?
Yeah, there are eight
Yes, we
categories
have.
of license. There's cultivator, processor, research and development, retail, distributor, which it sounds like you're buying stuff, but it's actually set up for a therapeutic facility, something like a spa. We have import, export, transport, and laboratory. So 8
Laboratory.
licenses that we have. And when we refer to investors, it's anyone who applies for a license. We
Yes.
deem them as our investors because they're spending money and getting into the industry. They're investing into the industry. So I particularly wanted to add to what V was saying, that some of the times that we get inquiries about, because there's a lot of things that you have to, that are required to have your license go through. So for instance, you need to have an operational plan, you need to have a premises plan, you need to have a security plan, a disposal plan, things like that you need to have to show that you are ready and prepared to be set up in this industry. And so the open house that we're doing speaks to helping persons with all of those different plans. There's simple things like people will upload their application and not have them certified, then your application's on hold. So simple things like that, we want to dedicate the day to make sure that persons can come in, sit with whoever they need to sit with, whether it's a compliance team to talk about security, whether it's our project officer to speak about an operational plan or a disposal plan, things like that. We want to, set that day aside, and for persons to make that appointment, 30 minutes, you have that one-on-one to go through exactly the checklist that you need to be able to move forward from draft, or even if you're just interested in entering the industry and you're not really sure how to get started, you book that appointment with us through our website at www.bmcla.bb, and you set that up with Valencia, or you set up with who you need to. The system is set up right now for you to book that appointment directly with the resource that can assist you.
All right. So let's break it down so everyone understands. It's on January the 18th, 2022. In other words, next year, January 18th, is when the open day will happen. Yeah, next year.
month.
Just now, next month. Don't think it's so far away. Just next month on the 18th is when the open day will happen. It is now, obviously, we operate within COVID-19 protocols in place. This open day, however, is an in-person, face-to-face encounter with one of your representatives. And you're asking us to go to the website bmcla.bb and book an appointment.
Yes,
right?
And COVID protocols are going to be strictly enforced. There's not going to be any side-by-side. There's no waiting list. If you show up more than 10 minutes late, it is canceled, because we don't want anyone sitting, waiting, bungling up, nothing like that. So you book your appointment, you have to be on time. There is a grace period because we know things happen, but after 10 minutes, don't bother. We will cancel your appointment. And it's from 9:30 to 3:30. Sorry, I mentioned that.
I was just coming to that. So it's from 9:30 in the morning until 3:30 in the afternoon, and you're having your 30-minute appointment. So you have to be on time for your appointment, because they'll give you a grace of 10 minutes. If you're late after that, you are cancelled, and you go forward from there. Should I, as one of the interested parties, either in entering the industry, completing the application process, what should I walk with so that we can also speed it up from draft into reality?
Walk with all of your documents. So let's say you want to come and know more about a transport license. Make sure that your license is up to date, ownership or lease of the car. What else, Valencia? I can't really think of anything. Go ahead.
So pretty much on that day, we would like that you come prepared. However, we are not going to turn you back if you're not fully prepared. And we also have the guides there to answer any of your questions. We are also there to assist you wherever. So yes, Tracy, you are correct to walk with all of your documents, and that would pass the time quicker, of course. But even if you are not as prepared as that, we still want you to come come along. Don't be intimidated because you are not fully prepared. So yes, to be fully prepared is great, Tracy. We know that some people are not going to be as prepared as that. And we're not turning anyone back as long as they're interested in the process and they are looking to get the application in.
And book your appointment.
And book your appointment. That's
Sure.
absolutely
By
critical.
appointment.
Book that appointment first. bmcla.bb. Don't just walk-ins
don't
or not.
show up. No walk-ins.
No walk-ins. But once you have your appointment, show up on time for your appointment, because if you're 10 minutes, beyond 10 minutes late, your appointment will be cancelled and then you'll be turned back for that. Now, there's a lot of mystique around this whole move towards legalizing cannabis, and so there, do you still get those kinds of questions? Why are you all doing this? What is it about? Am I going to be an addict? Whatever, all of those questions. Do you still have those questions coming?
We do have a lot of questions. We have a lot of interest. Persons are very hungry for information about the industry. So we don't really get the addiction question. That's more the Ministry of Health, because we are the commercial side of the industry. We do get questions about land, and we do get questions about setup, and we do get questions about the process and fees, as Valencia had mentioned. So it's mostly focused on how do I get involved. And one of the things we push, V would have mentioned CAIPO, but we talk about a cooperative as well, so that persons can get involved as a group. So we get those kinds of questions, and like I said, we do get questions about operational plans and disposal plans and security plans, because those are things. Every single person who has a license needs to have rigid security. So a security plan is it's imperative. So we get those kinds of questions about how do we set up and facilitate to be successful in this industry.
And indeed, if you want to offer your security services as well, you can register too yourself to be one of those who supplies that service to the industry. So great opportunities abound in so many different areas, whether you are...
So many opportunities.
Yeah, but to get to know more, you can go to the website, bmcla.bb, to see the categories for which you can register and book an appointment to go to the open day to get all the answers that you're trying to get. And with all of that, you have your questions answered by the contact liaison officer, right there, her face smiling so brightly, and all of the people who will be there too, who are behind the BMCLA, working really to bring greater benefit to you by entering the industry. The Barbados Medicinal Cannabis Licensing Authority this morning reminding you of the upcoming open day on the 18th of January next month. We just say next year, next month, and to be a part of it.
Just around the corner.
Yeah. So where is it though? Because it starts at 9:30 in the morning till 3:30. But where do we go once we book our appointment?
Well, Pearson, at this moment, we're waiting for some partners to come along with us, and if they do, then it's going to be at a location that we have been scouting. But if it's just the BMCLA, it will be held at our offices. So the information, just continue to check our website, also check our social media platform. We are on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and LinkedIn. We have a YouTube page. And all of the information is there. We will continuously upload and add new information so that persons can get educated about what we're doing, where it's going to be, how it's going to roll out. But right now, the website is set up for you to go and book your appointment. And like I said, it's specific to the needs that you have. And remember, January 18th, because when you click on the link, it's going to take you straight to December. So make sure to go over to January and book for the 18th.
Indeed. Thank you so much. Now, Tracy, go ahead, Valencia, go ahead.
No, also, I just wanted to add, there are limited spaces, so get your booking in as early as possible.
Well said, Valencia, indeed. Tracy Moore, I'm going to give you a chance to do as Tracy Knight-Lloyd did in supporting Wendy. Wendy called me Sally.
Wendy's my girl. I saw it. Wendy's my girl. We work together at the nation. So, sorry.
You see that? And she's behind me here talking about Boo Pearson.
That's my girl. That's my girl.
That's all right. I give it to you ladies this morning.
Maybe Valencia might be on your side.
Valencia, are you on my side?
I'm on your side, Pearson.
Good girl. Thank you for the support.
I'm on your side.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Valencia. Thank you so much to Tracy Moore and Valencia Gittins Carter from the Barbados Medicinal Licensing Authority. And I want to encourage everyone, to be a part of the open day on January 18th. Thank you so much. Have a good day.
Have a great day, Barbados.
All right. Morning Barbados continues right after this.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good morning to you.
We're a minute and a half after 7 o'clock. I persist. San will bring you the news. Good morning again.
Good morning to you, Pearson. Prime Minister of Barbados, Mia Motley, has been awarded the United Nations' highest environmental honor for her work highlighting the threat from rising sea levels to small islands around the world. Ms. Motley has been described as a driving force for climate action across Latin America and the Caribbean, who has set ambitious environmental targets for her country, including a fossil fuel-free electricity sector by 2030. In recognition of her leadership, the Barbados Prime Minister has been named as one of the 4 winners of the award, announced yesterday by the UN's Environment Programme. The announcement comes after Ms. Motley delivered a stark warning to the UN's Climate Change Conference in November, telling delegates that a 2% Celsius rise in global temperatures above pre-industrial levels would be a death sentence for nations such as Barbados. Rising temperatures and sea levels are affecting Barbados by shrinking its already limited water supply.
1.5 is what we need to survive. 2 degrees, yes, SG, is a death sentence for the people of Antigua and Barbuda, for the people of the Maldives, for the people of Dominica and Fiji, for the people of Kenya and Mozambique, and yes, for the people of Samoa and Barbados. We do not want that dreaded death sentence. And we've come here today to say, try harder, because our people, the climate army, the world, the planet, needs our actions now, not next year, not in the next decade.
And congratulations to Prime Minister Mia Motley. There is no need to be concerned that a 24-hour testing protocol to enter the United States will overwhelm the local testing system. One physician who performs private testing told a Morning Report between the government facilities and the increasing number of private medical testers, there should be no inundating the system. Dr. Bandele Majeks of Urgent Care, which was among the first private practices to be granted permission to do mobile testing, says he has no concerns about being unable to meet the demands of the new protocol or it affecting travel.
It means that you have sort of a shorter turnaround time for getting those results, and people may panic and think, well, what if I don't get my results back in time? The good news is that those tests can be antigen tests, or what we call rapid tests, and usually you get those results back within an hour.
For the first time in more than 300 years, vending without a license will not be treated as a criminal offense. This follows the historic passing of the National Vending Bill 2021 in the Senate yesterday. The act removes the scourge of criminality from vending, since anyone selling without a valid vending permit will no longer face criminal charges. They will instead be made to pay an administrative penalty. As he led off debate, Foreign Affairs Minister, Senator the Most Honorable Dr. Jerome Walcott, noted vending has been an important profession, providing an income for many Barbadians.
I am not going to stand here and say that there are all positives and everything is fine with vending. There are issues. There are the matters of blocking the sidewalks from time to time. And it is hoped that with this legislation, this matter will be addressed. Sometimes there's a lack of cleanliness, and this will have to be addressed. This occurs. Some vendors can be abusive, and sometimes they're quarreling and noisy among each other.
Meanwhile, in his capacity as head of the Select Committee on Vending, Minister of Energy, Small Business and Entrepreneurship Carrie Simmons spoke about the bill giving 16 to 18-year-olds the ability to legally vend.
I am indebted to the kind of reform-minded people who sat on this committee. And we belabored this matter for some time. And Clause 4 has therefore been redrafted to facilitate those persons between age 16 and age 18 with the ability to legally vend. And this will be done under a special dispensation, again, to be created under the regulations pursuant to this act. And that dispensation, sir, will be akin to an apprenticeship. So that even though you cannot commercially contract, sir, you can work with an established vendor.
Today is International Civil Aviation Day, and the Morning Report has been speaking with a representative of the Civil Aviation Department about the rationale of the day. John Paris is the Unit Chief Traffic Services who assists in the management of the officers in the tower.
International Civil Aviation Day is about bringing awareness to the public about the importance of civil aviation as it relates to the social and economic development of developing states. The theme is advancing innovation for global aviation development. And this theme will be till 2023, I believe. Because normally what would happen is there would normally be a major theme every 4 years. So this theme will lead us up into 2023.
Police are investigating an overnight stabbing incident. Central Police responded to a reported stabbing incident that a man was attacked about 7:45 p.m. on Monday, the 6th of December, while he was walking along the Gills Road St. Michael area between the Wabisco Company and the Supreme Court building. He was attacked by another man who is known to him, and he received a stab wound to the upper right side of his back. Police say he was transported to the QEH by a police vehicle as there were no ambulances available at the time. He's said to be in stable condition whilst undergoing medical treatment. The Progressive Democratic Patriots toppled the Dr. Keith Rowley-led People's National Movement to take control of the Tobago House of Assembly. The win is a historic one for the PDP, created by its political leader, Watson Duke, in 2015. In his victory speech, Chief Secretary-elect Farley Augustine promised a new day for Tobago under the PDP.
Tobago, I cannot thank you enough. This win should also be a solid message to the central government, being led by a Tobago-born Prime Minister, that you cannot treat Tobagonians the way you want. We will reject that, and we have rejected that. Let this win be a strong message that Tobago has rejected your incomplete autonomy bill, and we demand more. Let this be a resounding message, a strong message, that we have rejected your notion that we are only good enough to earn $200 million per year, and we must resort to being beggars of the national purse. Let this be a strong message, Mr. Prime Minister, that we in Tobago have rejected your bullying tactics, and that the kind of bullying that is part of the political culture in Trinidad is not welcomed in Tobago.
And that's a wrap for news. You can join us again for our next newscast, Newsday at 12. I now turn you back over to Pearson Stalin-Bowen.
Thank you, Sansan. Have a good day today. We'll have more news coming up at 12, as she said. It's now 10 minutes after 7. We're taking a break here. When we're back, it's time for the Crumbs Question of the day.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Question of the day. That's right. Time for you to give me a call on 228-5562 or 228-5563. And I hope you have the right answer here. Time for today's Crumbs Question of the day. What is it? Let me tell you. Today's question is, how many flavors of coffee does crispy fried chicken carry? Scratch your head all you want. Still call me and answer me. 228-5562 or 228-5563. How many flavors of coffee does crispy fried chicken carry? Do you know? Have you scoured the board? Good morning to you. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
I cannot hear you if
Good
you're
morning.
there. 228-5562 or 228-5563. The question is, how many flavors of coffee does Crispy's Fried Chicken carry? 228-5562 or 228-5563. If you're a coffee drinker, something tells me you perhaps know. So, how many flavors of coffee does Crispy's Fried Chicken carry? Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good.
Good. What's your first name?
Angela.
Hello, Angela. Is you Angela again? From St. Michael?
Yeah.
Angela, I got to get to know your voice well.
luck.
Yes, you're just your luck. What's your answer for me, Angela?
I will say a 3.
I will not say 3.
Okay.
All right, Angela, thanks.
All
eh?
right. Bye.
Good girl. Good. She's bold and brassy, but wrong, wrong, wrong. How many flavors of coffee? How many flavors of coffee does Crispy's Fried Chicken carry? 228-5562 or 228-5563. If you're a coffee drinker, you should know this. And if you love Crispy's Fried Chicken's coffee, you should know it. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, sir. Hi. What's your first name?
My name is Jeffrey.
Hello, Jeffrey. Where are you watching us from? What parish?
Christchurch.
All right, Jeffrey. Down the road. How many flavors? How many?
1 flavor.
Wrong, Jeffrey.
Sorry, 3 flavors. 3 flavors.
Wrong again, Jeffrey.
3 flavors. 3 flavors. Sorry, 3.
I'll come back to tell you you're wrong again, Jeffrey. Wrong. No. Thanks a lot, though. Okay. Jeffrey of Christchurch, totally wrong. That's not the answer at all. How many flavors of coffee does Crispy's Fried Chicken carry? How many flavors? So, good morning to you. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. What's your first name?
Angela.
Hello, Angela. Where part are you watching from?
St. Michael.
St. Michael as well. You're another Angela from St. Michael. What's your answer for me today?
I will say a 2.
You will say 2. I would say no.
All right.
Thank you, Angela.
All right.
That's not the answer at all.
All right.
Not at all. Not at all. So 2 and 3, scratch those out. 1, 2, and 3, nope. Those are not the answer. So 228-5562 or 228-5563. Those answers are way too small. Way too small. Good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I am good, and you?
I'm well. Thank you for asking. What's your first name?
My first name is Samaya.
Say it again.
Samaya.
Samaya, pleasure meeting you. What parish are you watching us from?
St. Michael.
St. Michael as well. Samaya, what's your answer?
My answer is 4.
Your answer is 4?
Yes, please.
You increased it by 1. You heard that? Nope. You're round 2, Samaya. Thank you for trying. Those numbers are too small. So think bigger than that. Come on, y'all can do this. Think bigger than those little numbers. So 228-556-263. Good morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine.
Fantastic. What's your first name?
My name is Chanel.
Hello, Sharon. What parish are you watching from?
Chanel.
Chanel. What parish are you watching from?
St. Andrew.
All right, Chanel. So talk to me, girl. What's your answer?
7.
Chanel. Wrong. No. No, Chanel. Still too small. So it has to be greater than 7. So you're heading there, folks. You're heading to the answer. 228-556. So quick. 228-5562 or 228-5563. How many flavors of coffee does Crispies carry? Morning. Hello.
Good morning.
Hi.
Good
Say it
morning
again.
to you. Good morning
How
to
you doing? How you doing?
Not bad, are you?
I'm well, thanks. What's your first name?
Pat.
Hello, Pat. What parish are you watching from?
Christchurch.
Okay, Pat from Christchurch. What's your answer?
My answer is 5.
Pat, what I just told you? Pat, what did I just say?
I didn't hear, I didn't listen to
I
you.
said it's greater than 7, Pat. Is 5 greater than 7?
Okay, it is 8.
Pat, no. Bye-bye, Pat. Thanks for trying, though. Thanks. Listen. Let's take one more call. One more. This question I can't believe is going to be carried forward. Good morning. Hello. Okay, 228-5562 or 63.
Good morning.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm fine.
Good. You sure you're fine?
Yes.
Are you being nervous?
Yeah, like everybody else.
All right, what's your first name?
Andrea.
Hello, Andrea. What parish are you watching from?
St. James.
St. James. Andrea, give me the answer.
10.
Andrea. Still too small? Thanks for trying though, Andrea. Thank you. That is not the answer I have. So far, everything up to 10 is wrong. So try again another time. But thank you all for your fun and your participation as well in today's Crumbs question of the day. We're going to take a break here. And when we are back on Morning Barbados, it will be time to head into pediatric care with our girl, Dr. Gillian Birchwood.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
Time for us to connect now with our girl, Dr. Gillian Birchwood, our pediatrician. Good morning to you, Dr. Birchwood.
Good morning, Pearson, and good morning, Barbados. How's everybody doing?
We're doing well. I thought you were on the phone to call us for our Crumbs question of the day.
I'm going to call in one of these good days.
You should. And I will recognize your voice and I will tell you wrong. So, Dr. Yeah, even though you're right. Now, Dr. Bertram, we build our homes, and we build our homes for the adults. We figure, maybe we should all get it. And we forget that there are times that little people come into our home as well through babies and toddlers and so forth. And so it can pose some very unsafe environments for them. Let's talk a little bit about that, focus on that today, because sometimes in the kitchen, they're underfoot. And then we don't realize till something happens.
Yes, children and toddlers are naturally very, very curious, and they're going to get into mischief just by exploring. And they will gravitate towards where we are. So,
yes.
We are in our kitchen a lot of the time, eating and cooking. It's really a hub for the family. And so definitely that's a place where they will gravitate. So in our kitchens, we have to be very careful because you may not realize that they're right next to you. But one place in particular that you have to watch out for is that stove. When we are cooking and we have our pots on top of the stove, they're filled with hot liquids and other hot things. And so make sure that the handles of the pots are not sticking out, because then either you can brush it by accident and the whole pot can tip over, or little hands will reach up to pull down and see what's in there. And that is definitely, unfortunately, a common cause of burning in children, that they will pull a handle that they see sticking out. So make sure that the handles are facing the back of the stove so that they will not be accessible to the children. In addition, don't put hot objects, like you might put a cup of tea or something that you're eating, close to the edge of the counter that it's on, because again, little hands will reach up and pull down. And then you see a very characteristic burning pattern where you see burns from the face coming down the front of the neck and the chest. And it's so unfortunate and unpleasant to see that in children. So be very careful about how you have hot objects in the kitchen, for sure.
It is so true. But we're all fascinated by cupboards. I remember as a child myself hiding in cupboards, and that's what I do with the boys, hide, go, seek. And they're in the cupboards hiding. And before you know it, they could get trapped. The door closes and it fastens, or anything else. They find themselves in a space that is very uncomfortable as well. So we need to be mindful of all of that. It's just so funny.
Yes. Cupboards, in the kitchen we keep chemicals, we keep spices. I remember getting into pepper when I was little, which was a very informative experience, put it that way. But there are things that we don't think of as being dangerous, but they can quite be. You don't want pepper in a child's eyes, for example. So yes, it's important to have cupboard locks to restrict access. But at the same time, you should have a safe zone. So for example, those plastic containers we put food in, all that Tupperware, you might leave that cupboard open so they can dig around in there quite safely. So don't just restrict. You have an area that's okay, where you can keep a close eye, and that's away from the hot stove and away from the dangerous items and chemicals that people sometimes keep in the kitchen.
That's right. So either put it up higher or lock it away somewhere.
Lock it, yes, and put child-proof covers on things like the stove knobs, etc. Very important to keep children away from those things.
The other place that children love to walk into is the bathroom. They head to the bathroom because they like to play with water. They're fascinated by water. And so that too is a dangerous space.
Absolutely. Anywhere with running water or the potential for water can be very dangerous. And children are quite short. So if you have a toddler, they get into the bathroom, they go to the toilet, they hang over the edge. God forbid they fall in, there's no way for them to get back out. So it's really important to restrict access to the toilet. A lot of the products that are useful for keeping safe zones for children you can find in local hardware stores or on the internet if it's not available. And there is one that's called a toilet lock. Be sure you know how to use it, otherwise you might have trouble getting to access yourself. But it can be a good, safe way of preventing them from getting into the toilet. In addition to that, things like the shower, children can get into the shower and turn on the hot water and let it run. There's a risk for them having burns. So leave them unsupervised, keep that bathroom door shut or locked from the outside so they can't get in. And then chemicals. People definitely keep chemicals in the bathroom. They put, things to clean the bathroom under the sink, for example, in your bathroom, or they may put it next to the toilet. These can be incredibly dangerous. So again, make sure the products you use have child-proof caps. That will be very difficult for them to access. And secondly, if you have a cupboard that you keep cleaning supplies in, make sure that cupboard is locked and that you do not have easy access.
Yes.
So that's another area.
And your medication as well. Just be careful of where you leave your medication in the bathroom. And I keep thinking of those non-skid mats as well, because, the bathroom was pretty, but it can be also pretty dangerous for the child as well.
Yes, so that's the other big item. Medications, we keep them in our bathrooms. You know, sometimes people have those little behind the mirror cupboards that are very easy to open. You don't want things like that, so it's very easily available for children. Don't make the mistake of just thinking that if you put things high up, that children won't be able to reach them. Children are natural born problem solvers, and they will work it out in their head. And then one day you'll find them high up and you'll wonder, how did they get there? Because they've been plotting all along. So you lock those cupboards that have medications and dangerous chemicals. And then, as you said, the bathroom is often wet. So make sure that when people have used the bathroom, that they dry up after themselves. But non-skid mats within the bathtub or the shower can be important, because children tend to be very active and can get into trouble and slip and fall.
And we love to have those little shelves as well, you know, where you store things, but those shelves are movable. So a child might want to hold on and it falls onto the child, and then we have a problem there too. So all of those things to be mindful of, those safe spaces. Keep your bathroom spaces as safe as possible as well. Now, stairs and windows. Oh, the boys, they love to climb up to the windows. They want to try to open it. They want to play with the mesh. They want to do, you know, and my concern often was you might fall out the window. So how do we deal with that now?
So you have to be very mindful of looking around your house through the eyes of a child. If you just look from your eyes, you're going to miss a lot of things. So children want to climb, they want to explore, they want to get up, they want to see what's happening. So make sure that your furniture is not close to your window. If you put your couch right under your window, you are begging for the child to climb up to that window. So make sure that furniture is not close to the window. The next thing is to make sure that if it is not difficult for you in terms of ventilation, that you keep the windows shut. If it is going to be difficult, and it would be for many of us in our climate, we don't necessarily use air conditioners, then make sure that you install window guards, or if you have burglar bars, that's a good way of preventing the children from falling through the window, particularly on the first floor, as in, you know, the second floor of your house, I should say. Make sure that you have window guards, or you keep those windows shut when people are not in the room, because children are going to fall out of those windows. Having just screens on the windows, like mosquito screens, those are not enough to prevent a little person from falling through. So you should not have a false sense of security from window screens. And again, you can build, or you can buy pre-customized, pre-designed window guards that you can find, again, available locally at a lot of different hardware stores. So make sure that you think about that.
Indeed, give great thought to it. But then that's inside, but outdoors as well. We love to come outside to play. And so we have that little garden shed, but we leave the forks hanging around. We leave the shovel here, there, everywhere. All sorts of impediments for which the child finds fascinating.
Yes, they have watched you fork up the beds or use the cutlass to, you know, dig something or chop something, and they are determined, especially when they get into those middle childhood years, they want to get their hands on that. So those implements can be quite sharp and quite dangerous, and you don't want to risk them injuring themselves. So again, you're going to want to lock up the tools in that garden shed, speak to them firmly about it as well. And not only that, we keep things in garden sheds like, you know, fertilizers and pesticides. And one of the things that people do, which can be quite dangerous, is that they will pour the contents from the original container into another container, like a soft drink bottle. And, you know, we've had children come into hospital because they've drunk some of the contents of those containers because they look like they are Sprite or Coke or some other kind of soda that they like. So do not transfer dangerous chemicals into other containers that can be misleading. And all containers are not designed to hold those dangerous chemicals. They do not have childproof covers. So make sure inside and outside that you lock up, lock away, and speak to your children about the dangers of it. They do understand, especially if you repeatedly explain to them how dangerous it can be.
Yes, indeed. I mean, you want your child to explore, but, you know, don't keep your eye on it, basically. Don't let them go out of your eyesight. Just keep your eyes on them to ensure that you guide them in the right way. Let them explore, but in a very safe way as well. Dr. Birchwood, as always, thank you so very much for sharing all that you share with us every Tuesday morning. And I again, look forward to next week, Tuesday, should God spare life.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You do too as well. Dr. Gillian Birchwood is her name. Keep her busy. Give her a call. She'll give you some really sage advice as well. 7:30, a break, and when we come back, Agent Sharita will be with us. Here comes the smile on a Tuesday morning. Agent Sharita, good morning to you.
Good morning, good morning.
How are you doing today? Are you one of those Christmas babies? Those who get fascinated by Christmas and want to do everything?
I like Christmas. I think where I've lost, don't laugh at me, the music, I can only put it on from mid-December. I can't start from October.
My kind of girl. I'm with you on that one. After a while, it's like too much now. It's too much.
Exactly.
But here we are in the midst of it all. But there's still people who are looking for opportunities through real estate to either sell or have their properties rented. So there's some do's and don'ts, some things that you want to remind us of today. So let's start with if I want to put my property on the market for sale, what are some of the things I need to do?
Well, keep in mind that when I come around now to take photos and to put your glorious property on showcase, don't put up the Christmas decorations just yet. Because suppose this property is still on the market in April and we have up the Christmas tree in the living room shoot, all the decorations, the mistletoe. So that's something to be mindful of when you're about to list the property. Keep it as neutral as humanly possible. So you want to get somebody in to take pictures before you put up all the decorations. That's the first step.
Yeah, keep it as real as possible. Keep it real. Show me how it looks at regular times and not only at special occasions. That's the whole point. So don't over-decorate your home. Keep it practical. I think that's important.
Yes. And some people have, as you would have rightfully said, some people are Christmas babies more than others. So imagine if a Scrooge wants to buy your property and they're overwhelmed by all the green, all the balls, all the jingle bells. So, you have to make it neutral.
Yes, Mr. Grinch will come in indeed so. But is it a good time to be on the market, to put my house on the market at this time of year?
Well, it's a mixed bag of tricks because Bajans in particular wake up every January 1st with a new resolution. I own a piece of the rock.
Yes.
So it is good to have it positioned there so that when that does happen, it is there and hopefully they've seen it already. But you want to try to start getting it out there at least from the beginning of December. So right now, this week, your property should be on the market because eyes are going to be looking at it. All those people at work not paying attention who have tuned out and are browsing through their phones will be checking out your property before the end of the year. So at least it's seen so that when they wake up January 1st, they can say, yes, I want to pursue this. So better to start earlier in the month than wait till too late when it's sale time.
You're right. I mean, it's at this time of year, a lot of people either one get paid a little earlier, so they feel a little bit more cashy, or they get profit sharing or some kind of thing. So income seems to increase. So they see themselves now a little bit more able to pay for the property, whether it's to purchase it or to rent it. And so it is important that this week, as you've said, that you get your property listed and made available that people can either come visit and see and make up their minds very quickly because they want to give themselves a good Christmas gift as well.
Yes. And the reality is that at this time, things slow down. So from a seller perspective, your competition might be less. if you
Yes.
put your property out there right now. Because some owners just can't be bothered and they'll say they'll wait to the year. But as an owner, you have to be mindful too that if somebody does come through and say, I want it, for the most part, not knocking you lenders, but everyone is on a go slow at this time. So how quickly can we find out about your financing at this time?
Yes, yes. Yes, that's right. And also get your legal papers together. But it's also the time when the people are a lot jollier, including the landlord. And they're a lot nicer.
Oh, yes. If you are thinking about renting, now is the time. Right now. Because what happens, Polly sue the landlord, especially if you rent mid-month, December. Polly sue is going to be, you know, if you want to move it early, that's all right. I would give you the last month of the year free, you know, it's okay. It's okay. Oh, you want $100 off and me to include carpet? I'll think about it. That's all right.
See, the different space and time for real, and so you might meet that landlord or landlady who are prepared to bend a little, to give a little, because they're in the spirit of giving, naturally, as the season would pull from their heart. And so it might be a very good time for you, if you're out there searching too, to consider engaging. Or you as a person who is putting your property up, you know, you might want to consider as well giving a little gift, a little ease at this time too. But as you've mentioned before, it's also the time when either business slows down or business becomes such to the point where you can't find someone to do the kind of renovation that you're looking for, because they too are very busy. So we need to bear that in mind.
Yes. Landlords who have had tenants just move out tend to be in a bit of predicament. How many calls have you made to that carpenter John to get him to come to fix the cupboards? Finding persons right now to refresh and renovate your home,
yes,
it is not for the faint of heart. It's not easy. So you have to keep in mind, can you get your home up to scratch between now and end of year if someone is seriously interested in moving it? So that's a reality to consider.
So many things to consider, Agent Sharita, but every good reason to give you a call. 233-8888, Agent Sharita. Remember, Barbados Real Estate 246 on social. Agent Sharita is 233-8888. Agent Sharita on Facebook, on Instagram, and you will find her there. And she lends very sage advice and guidance as well. So check her out today. 233-8888. Keep smiling, my friend. And Caesar's greetings to you indeed. Looking forward to seeing you next week. All right?
Take care.
You too. Thank you so much. Agent Sharita, always with great advice in our real estate segment. We're going to take a break here, and we're coming back with more on Morning Barbados.
Morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
21 and a half minutes now to go to the hour of 8 o'clock. Time for you to answer your phone. Because, yeah, it's time for a Christmas promotion. A chance for you to win this morning. A food voucher compliments Eddie's Supermarket. Something really, really good. And it's a good value food voucher, I'm telling you. You can go shopping right away at Eddie's Supermarket in the north of the island in Speightstown, St. Peter. But you need to answer your phone correctly. And if you answer that phone correctly, when we call you, then you are a winner of that $100 food voucher at Eddie's Supermarket. We hear the dial tone, we shall hear the dialing, and then I hope to hear you answer in the way I expect you to answer to win this morning. So we're calling. I will be quiet to see if you'll answer correctly. I hope you have all of your phones on. Let's see. Ring number 1. Ring number 2. Come on, answer the phone. Answer your phone. It's not a prank. No, that can't work. That can't work. So you missed your chance, Miss Wiggins. You missed your chance to have won that voucher compliments of Eddie's. Let's try another caller. We have some numbers that we're going to call. Dial tone is there. Big fat finger, Alicia is dialing. That's who's dialing. So we'll see who comes up now. Let's see. Answer your phone. Here it is. It's ringing. Ring number 1. Answer your phone. Answer your phone. Answer your phone.
Hello.
It's your Good morning.
Hello.
How are you? Hi, how are you?
Okay.
You good? This is Sheldine.
Yeah.
Sheldine, we're calling from CBC. And Sheldine, you did not answer your phone the way we asked you to. You miss out. Sheldine, you miss out. You miss out. You missed out. Yes?
The number say right.
No,
CBC.
Sheldine.
CBC come out when it trick me.
No, we trick you? You should have done what you ought to have done. Doesn't matter who calls. Charlene, sorry. We got to put down from you. Thank you so much for trying. We're going to call somebody else. We want to give someone a chance today to get that voucher to shop at Eddie's Supermarket in Speightstown. Eddie's in Speightstown has great value, great range of products, and a great reason for you to enter the competition. So here we go. Let's see if someone else answers now. So Shirley and Sheldine, no. It's ringing. Answer your phone. We're calling you. Answer your phone. Answer it correctly, please. 3, third ring.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. How are you? I'm calling from your doctor's office. My name is Pearson.
Hi.
Hi, Deborah.
Hello.
I'm calling from CBC. Deborah? Oh, yeah. It no dawned on you, right, Deborah? Deborah? Deborah, she's shocked. Deborah, you had a chance. You had a chance this morning. You had a chance, Deborah, to win a voucher to go shopping at Eddie's Supermarket. But you know what, Deborah? You did not do the right thing. Deborah?
You said you're calling for CDC, and I said we're going to for Christmas.
No, Deborah, you said good morning. You said good morning, Deborah.
But this is not the number that y'all had. I see
You can't assume. You have to answer the same way regardless of who calls you. Even if it's your mother calling you, you should answer that way. But Deborah, no, you didn't win this morning. Thank you here. Thank you so much. There'll be another chance for you, no doubt, some other time. Let's try another caller. This is another person who would have entered our competition. Listen, it does not matter who calls you. You have to answer. If your boss calls, answer by saying the right thing, and then you could become a winner. So let's see. Answer your phone. Answer your phone. We really want to give someone today a chance.
What you going to give me for Christmas?
You're making it smart. I got nothing for you this morning. Althea?
Yes, please.
Well done, Althea. Whoa. How did you know to answer like that today, Althea?
Oh, I'm watching you, so I'm waiting for my phone ring.
And so you heard the phone ring on the TV, and you heard your phone ring as well, and you assumed it was me?
Yes, please.
Althea, well done. Have you ever won? Have you ever won with us before?
No, please.
Oh, congratulations. This season is going to be good for you, girl. Let me tell you what you've won, Althea. You have won a $100 voucher to go shopping at Eddie's Supermarket. So you could buy up a lot of things with $100, Althea.
Thank you
Althea,
so much.
You're welcome. Do you know where Eddie's Supermarket is?
Yes, please, in Spice.
Where? Where?
In Spice.
Have you ever been to Eddie's Supermarket?
Yes, please, I went there.
Tell me how to find Eddie's Supermarket.
I know it's in Spicetown.
Uh-huh.
And I know I can't remember the name of the street in Spicetown.
That's all right. So describe the location.
It's
When you get to Spice Song, I think it's Spice Street they call it. Church
That's
Street, sorry.
Church Street, yes. That's all you could tell me?
Yes, please. I know the
you know how to get them because you'll know it for real. But you're absolutely right. Althea, congratulations to you, Althea Stricker. You've got your voucher. Someone from our marketing department will be calling you to present that voucher to you, okay?
Thank you so much.
You are welcome, and thank you too for answering your phone correctly. What are you going to give me for Christmas? Althea is our winner this morning. Well done, and thanks to all of our sponsors, indeed, who've stepped forward to be a part of this promotion. Other opportunities will come your way another day. All right, let's take that break, and when we come back, Mr. Thornwood will help us work off what we put on in just a moment. Stay with us.
Morning, morning, morning. Good morning. Good morning to you.
It is not Friday, but it's as fresh as the morning sunrise right here on Morning Barbados. What's. Thornwood is going to join me now. Thorn, good morning to you.
Good morning, Pearson. I was saying the same thing. I was pretty sure that it was Tuesday. You have me checking my imaginary while we watch my date and time.
I mean, I love a Friday. Well, a Friday for me is the best day of the week. Where are you this morning,
today,
Thorn?
we're wrapping up. We're wrapping up our November series. I know it is December, but we had to bring it full circle. Last week we couldn't. Happy 55th. Republic, everything going on, but we want to admire our athletes as well. So right now we're here at Flip Gym, and I'm joined by the head coach, Allison Jackson, maybe related to Michael Jackson. She'll have to tell you, but she's going to tell you a little bit about gymnastics. Go ahead, Allison.
Well, welcome to my gym. On the beam right now, we have some of the girls from our national team.
I'm sorry, but Thorn, I can't hear you, so I'm not sure what you're saying. If my technical crew could help me out. You keep going. You talk to Miss Jackson.
Oh, okay.
And I'll see if I can pick you
So
up.
she had said that right now we're at Flip Gym, Barbados, and on the beam we have some of the national team. So we can just ease across a little bit to our right. Maybe you home at TV, that will be to your left. I'm gonna let Allison try to feed me the information as to what's going on at the moment.
Okay, so the girls are working on some skills and their routines for their upcoming competitions. We have a bunch coming up in the new year. And got out of bed early today to be here to show you guys what we're doing.
Super early. So we're doing this to let you guys know, there's sometimes you have your kids doing stuff at home and they get afraid. Parents get afraid. They're like, oh no, don't go on your head, don't go on your hands. The whole agent saying you can break your neck. But there's some place where you can go that you can learn these skills, you can get better at it, and maybe even you can do recreational or you can join the national team. All right. So we can take a little step across further, Pearson. We carry all on a little tour today, right? We'll pass through here. Excuse me, ladies. Right, so we're heading over to the uneven bars, all right?
I'm going to do a little spotting.
So Allison's going to head over and do some spotting, all right? So gymnastics, guys, is one of the best foundation sports that you can do. Very athletic. It's like, in a nutshell in itself, most gymnasts going into any other sport, they will dominate because of what the sport itself entails in terms of how many muscles you use, the movements, mobility, and etc.
That's a very clean finish just now, Thorne.
I didn't catch that one, Pearson. I didn't catch that one.
I said it was a very clean finish by our gymnast just now. Perhaps you should try it. That'll be great.
Yeah. Stuck the landing.
Yeah.
So, Alison, what do we, that flip off of the bars, what's that predominantly called? That is called a flyaway, Pearson. You feel you could try that? We gotta get you down here to try that.
Yes, I shall. A little bit heavier after I lost some pounds, huh?
And sometimes you wipe out, but it's all safe. You don't know, they have proper padding. Coaches are all certified, so your children are in great hands when they're here. But Pearson, since you're not here to try something, I think I might give something a try.
Thank you. Thank you. That'll be great.
I think I might give something a try.
So what you're gonna give the uneven bars a try?
I can give the uneven bars a try. And this is something I like to say to parents a lot as well. When your kids are trying stuff, try as much as possible to get involved. You know what I mean? We're going to talk about some conditioning drills and stuff like that you can do with your kids, but it's an opportunity to connect and really, get into their heads and see what it is that they're doing, and you can relate with them about that. So, what am I about to do here, Alison?
You are going to try a kip, which is a basic uneven bar mount, and it's also a basic mount on the men's high bar. This is a women's event. The men do high bar.
Yeah,
we're gonna try this one instead. So ready, girls? You're gonna judge him out of 10.
Judge me out of 10.
You're judging him out of 10 on his kip.
I want you all, this might, you all give me a little ease. Anything over 5 is fine right now. All right, okay. Person, ready? We're going for it.
Let's go. Stretch. Good job.
Right.
Don't forget to present.
Wait. What? How to present? All right, I could do one more. What do you think, person?
Yes.
One more? I have to point my toes and not bend my knees.
And
all right.
not lose his grip on
and
the bar.
not lose my grip on the bar. All right, one more, Pearson. One more.
Stretch. Push. Yay! Much better.
All right.
Yeah!
I got 8 and a 7.
I thought that was pretty good.
So what we're going to do now, we're going to take it over to some conditioning drills that the girls do, maybe a little bit of tumbling. They're excited for that. And like I said, some of the drills that you can do at home with your kids, your grandkids, just get involved. Get involved, guys.
This is great. I mean, you did very well, Thorne. I'm very surprised at how well you did. Maybe the bar was too low for you, right?
You thought it was too low for me. Well, you see, I traded my height for skill, Pearson. I traded my height for skill. You understand? All right?
Okay, get on an X, girls. Find an X, spread out.
So you're gonna spread out a little bit.
I mean, is this?
I think we can do.
You talked a little bit, Thorne, about how many muscle parts of the body that one works out with this kind of activity.
Yeah.
Lots, everything.
So like we were saying, because most gymnasts, like I said, when they come out of this sport, if they decide to do something else, 8 or 9 times out of 10, they will dominate just because of how many muscle groups you're engaging. So if you go for instance, for rings, we don't have anyone here on rings, but that requires a lot of upper body strength. Ooh. The beam requires a lot of balance. High bar, stuff like that requires a lot of grip strength and proprioception in terms of back to beam, in terms of balance and etc. So there's so many intricate parts to this sport that when you do go into something else, you have an excellent and firm foundation, and I'm sure Alison can agree where that's concerned.
I wish they could hear me. Because it really is the best sport. Covers all your dominant movement patterns. You're running, you're jumping, you're swinging, you're climbing, you're balancing, you're tumbling, you're doing everything, and it is the only sport that does cover all of those dominant movement patterns that does make you that much better at your next sport.
Exactly, 100%. So, Pearson, we got time to get in some tumbling before we break?
Yes, we can.
Okay, let's grab
all right. So
grab a line quickly.
You can grab a line, have some tumbling happening. We got to get you down here doing some forward rolls and stuff like that, Pearson.
One day soon.
Okay. Round off, back handspring, back tuck. Let's do first 3.
So the first one we're seeing is a round off, back handspring, back tuck.
No, go.
Go.
Did we talk about
That's 1.
All right.
That's 2. That's 3. Person, I think you could do this coming on CBC.
No, no,
Stand up,
not
backhand,
me.
backhand. If you're not comfortable.
Or BT Hill.
Go.
So guys, again, what you guys are seeing here, round of back handsprings. Are we gonna get some forward tumbling?
Yes, let's see, front handspring, or front handspring, front tuck, or just the plain front tuck. Go ahead. That's a front handspring, front tuck.
Front handspring, front tuck. Another front handspring, front tuck. Ooh.
Energetic.
Yeah, got some height on that
Surprise,
one,
so
yeah.
early in the morning.
All right.
Whoop. Roll out.
Going through. Nice. It's all about recovery, guys. That's one of the first things you learn in gymnastics. You got to learn how to recover.
Nice. Okay, let's do something simple. Do cartwheel, back handspring, step out.
Moving on to cartwheel, back handspring, step
Let's have more than one
outs.
person go at the same time, and then we'll do the conditioning, yeah? Go.
Again, if you're now tuning in, we're at Flip Gym Barbados. I know a lot of you guys can be flipping and tumbling on Instagram. Queen's Park was my first stomping ground, and if you really wanted to learn how to get stuff done, you came here. Big shout out to a lot of the coaches who are here as well. Guys who would have met, who are maybe not here anymore, like Renal, current coaches like Darius, Jelani Bryce, Corey. Allison will have to mention the rest because there's so many people who play intricate parts here. There's so many certified coaches and people who definitely know what they're doing and are able to pass on that information to your child without you having to worry. Would you say the same thing, Allison?
Absolutely.
Correct, absolutely.
Because especially these days with kids watching YouTube and Simone Biles and they're trying stuff at home and the parents are calling me, my kid's on the wrought iron and falling off the bed and trying to do all this stuff because they've watched it. Better to get them in the gym.
Exactly, exactly. You don't know who your child is going to be or who they could be. So I'm trying to get parents out of the idea of, well, you don't crawl down here, don't climb on top there. There's somewhere that they can go to explore these skills, because you could be stopping the next world champion from being the next world champion. You never know. All right? So don't be afraid. Be cognizant. Obviously, you watch your kids and stuff like that, but understand that there's a place that they can come to, that they can learn. Allison was telling me a little bit about her programs that she has here.
I do.
Yeah.
I don't know if they could hear me again.
Yeah,
we can hear you. We can hear you.
Okay, so I offer classes for 18 months to 3-year-olds, a parent and taught class, and we have kinder gym for 3 to 5-year-olds, and then recreational program is for 6 and over. Coaches will spot talent, and if they see a child is showing talent for the sport, they recommend them to me to try out for the team.
Yeah.
We also have a boys team.
Yeah.
And our new program is Ninja, which is more a ninja parkour, obstacle course, racing sort of thing, and the kids are loving it. It's really great.
Allison, you think I could audition for the boys team? Like, you got time. Pearson, I'm feeling 2024 Olympics. Pearson,
we don't discriminate here.
You know what I mean? I still young on the inside, right? Feeling good. So, adding to that, let's talk a little bit more about the rec program. So if you heard that, guys, there's room for growth. So you could come here in the rec program just to have fun, and then if you have the talent and you're showing promise, then you can possibly make it on a national team once you're doing well, and then there's room for growth where that is concerned. You were telling me earlier about one of your gymnasts who is going to represent Barbados. Yeah.
I'm just going to bring her over here. Erin is going to be our first female gymnast to represent Barbados in the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham, England this summer.
Well done, well done.
Yeah.
We're so excited and we can't wait. It's going to be such an amazing step forward, not only for gymnastics, but gymnastics in Barbados especially.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So, I think you want to hear a little bit from Erin, how she feels about,
absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited, but I'm also really scared because it's like a really big competition. So I know I'm going to do well, but I have to still prepare and train as hard as possible so that I'm definitely going to do well for him.
Yeah. Well, she sounds sure of herself, guys. That's 100%.
She'll do well.
I think we break now, Pearson. We have a little break.
Yeah, we're coming up to wrap up time. Just quickly remind us where Flip Gym is and how people can contact.
Let Allison do that. Yeah, tell them what Flip Gym is.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you can hear you.
You can hear me now? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm located in Wildy, upstairs in the back of Do It Best Home Center.
Ah.
And we are open in the afternoons during the week and on Saturdays from 8 to 2:30.
All right.
Okay, so really quickly, let's go through a couple of those small drills, super
Come,
quick.
girls.
Can we do that really quickly?
Grab an X. and
I'll
two
give you
of
the time.
grab
1 minute.
But I'll charge you for the time.
Sit down
Appreciate
in a
that.
pike.
So,
pike.
some hip flexor exercises. You've seen me done these before. We're gonna do pike first, right? People really underestimate hip flexor exercises. They're great for running, great for going upstairs and stuff like that. Work your hip flexors, guys. Don't just go in a squat every day. So their legs are not gonna go as high as mine because I'm a professional, right? So we're gonna do single four on the right, 4 on the left, and then double in
Lifting
center.
one.
Lifting.
Yeah.
So right leg first. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3. Everyone's trying to show me up. Left leg. 1, 2, 3, 4. Both legs up. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, that's
right.
a super simple drill that you guys can do, that gymnasts do as well. And we look
Okay.
forward to seeing you guys here, tumbling, flipping, and doing everything amazing as these athletes do.
Thank you, Thorn. Thank you, Alison, as well. Thank you all at Flip Gym. Thank you, young gymnasts as well. Have yourselves all a good day. Thank you. All right. That's it for today, everybody. From Flip Gym, we go right back here. And I want to thank my producer, Alicia Asgrant, our technical director, Roel Ford, sound engineer this morning, Michael Sobers, and master control has been Tamisha Green. I'm Pearson Boyne. See you tomorrow.
Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Barbados, get up. Good morning.